A major raid by federal agents could bring lifetime prison terms to more than a dozen suspected gang members. Good Tuesday evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Lopez. Today's developments in law enforcement make up today's top story. Local, state police and federal investigators either indicted or took 15 suspected gang members into custody or added charges to those already behind bars in the culmination of a 2-year investigation. Our own Monica Murphy has been following this and is now live at the federal courthouse with further details. Monica?
Yeah, Tyler, well, 14 are in custody tonight, and police are still searching for one more person. But what makes this an investigation different, Tyler, is that the defendants named in this indictment have actually been charged with one count of RICO conspiracy. And what this means is that suspects are accused of a group criminal initiative. Those arrested were all part of a gang called Bomb Squad, and police say they committed murder, attempted murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, arson, and drug trafficking.
We hope that other groups that are out there will see this and get the message that violence will not be tolerated in the city.
Efforts of this scale require the dedication and cooperation of local, state, and federal agencies. When faced with a common problem, the people we work for rightfully expect such dedication.
Some charged are involved in the April 8th murder of Najee Murray, a former Bradley University student. 22-year-old Anthony Polnitz was also shot dead at night, and the indictment refers to him as a rival gang member. And if we did ask police today where these arrests were made, they said on the south end of Peoria, most of them. But of course, we're going to keep you guys updated as we learn more information. But for now, I'm live in downtown Peoria. Monica Murphy, 25 News.
Thank you, Monica. Clearly a case we'll be following for plenty of time now. The crimes she spoke of impacted greater Peoria for the better part of 5 years. Here is a breakdown now of some of the crimes detailed today by investigators. These alleged crimes, now attributed to the bomb squad, stretch back 5 years. They include the June 23rd murder of Eric Brown in 2013. Less than a month later that same year, the July 15th death of Tyran Chester. June of 2016 now, an 11-year-old girl was shot while asleep and hurt. Then this past April 8th, Najee Murray and Anthony Polnitz were killed at an off-campus party near Bradley University. In addition, the indictments accused the gang of more than a dozen additional beatings and shootings over that 5-year span. We also have an arrest now in the June 10th double murder on Orchard Road in Bloomington. Our news partners at the Panagraph report that Hammett Brown has been charged in the murders of 18-year-old Tanisha Brown and 20-year-old Stephen Alexander. Mr. Brown has also been charged with the attempted murders of Kenlia Sims and Tyree Jones, both injured by gunfire. Bond has been requested at $3 million. The suspect is scheduled to be in court tomorrow. Thieves again hit a car dealership in central Illinois, this time at Mangold's Ford in Eureka, but they're not really after new cars. Police say instead they stole a dump truck that they then used to steal 12 wheels from the Mangold lot. It happened between the hours of 1 and 5 early this morning. You can see the result there. The dealership says the losses are estimated at around $20,000, $8,000 for the dump truck, another $12 grand for 12 wheels, some of them taken off of 2 brand new Ford trucks.
The ability to sell items like this online has made it much easier and much more profitable for theft. So unfortunately, that's the life.
And that spokesperson says this is their biggest loss due to theft. They are hoping, though, that media coverage will help. 25 News did reach out to both Eureka Police and the Woodford County Sheriff's Office. Both refused to comment, though, citing the ongoing investigation. More cases of synthetic cannabinoids being reported by the state of Illinois. The Department of Public Health says more than 160 people now in 15 counties have experienced severe bleeding after using synthetic cannabinoids. They are commonly called spice or K2, also known as fake pot. In those positive tests, a chemical often used in rat poison was found. It's unclear if this was a new batch of drugs or from the same batch that caused an outbreak we reported on back in late March. Some presence of algal toxin found in the Illinois River. Here's a look at the river in Lakin, where state health leaders say they are monitoring the water in case they do find blue-green algae bloom. To give you an idea what the algae blooms look like, photos were provided by the health department. They were taken near Ottawa. The toxin looks like spilled paint with green color streaks. It can cause sickness in people and animals as a result of skin contact, swallowing, even inhaling the water, or even inhaling it in the air. Symptoms of exposure include rashes, hives, diarrhea, vomiting, coughing, or wheezing. If you think you have these symptoms, you can call the Poison Center at the number there on your screen. We do have severe weather north and south of us. What about us? Here's Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins.
Well, it looks like, Tyler, we're escaping strong storms here in central Illinois. There could be a few here yet this evening, but most of the action's up around Chicago and then down around St. Louis. Let's dial up the Doppler, show you what I mean. We have clusters of showers and storms in northern Illinois with heavy rain and flooding there. And then we have showers and storms and severe weather south of Springfield into southern Illinois. As we zoom things in, we just have a couple of clusters of showers and storms around the area in northeast Livingston County, but that's pushing off to the northeast, so that won't affect us. So we still could get a rogue storm in here later on tonight, but the chances are decreasing because the cloud cover has kept our atmosphere stable this afternoon. 79 right now in Peoria and 78 in the Twin Cities. Otherwise, we're expecting more heat coming our way. I'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes, Tyler.
All right, Chuck, the Tazewell County Board Chairman says he wants more professionalism from the county auditor. That's why he's proposing appointment rather than an election. 25 News reporter Denise Jackson here with a look at what's happening there in Pekin. Denise?
Tyler, Tazewell County Board Chairman David Zimmerman says he would like to see a certified public accountant take on the job of auditor. Tomorrow, the county board would vote on whether or not to put the proposal up for a referendum in the November election. Zimmerman says the county has two options: hire an internal accountant or pay an outside firm to come in and do yearly audits. He says there could be some potential savings.
We're trying to achieve is a more consistent, higher level of professionalism and probably the right credentialing in this position.
In recent years, the county hired a finance director and reassigned staff from the auditor's office to work under the finance director. Now, the current auditor, Shelley Haranka, has filed a lawsuit against the county board chair and the Tazewell County State's attorney, Stu Umholtz. Tyler?
All right, Denise, in our next half hour, we will hear more about the lawsuit from the county auditor's perspective. Today at the Supreme Court level, an important win for the president. A divided court ruled in favor of his travel ban, restricting travelers from a handful of mostly Muslim-majority countries, including Syria, Libya, Iran, Yemen, Chad, and Somalia. The administration failed in its first two attempts, but today the court found the president did not overstep his constitutional authority.
Who left their families to serve our own.
It is a decision raising protests from the shadow of the Supreme Court.
This is not okay.
To the halls of Congress.
This is a dark day for anybody in our country who cares about checks and balances.
But at the White House,
that's a tremendous victory for the American people and for our Constitution.
And for President Trump, the Supreme Court upholding his travel ban, restricting travel from a handful of majority Muslim countries, along with Venezuela and North Korea.
We have to be tough, and we have to be safe, and we have to be secure.
In a 5-4 ruling, the court deciding President Trump is acting within his rights to protect the United States. Chief Justice John Roberts calling the ban's purpose legitimate, preventing entry of nationals who cannot be adequately vetted and inducing other nations to improve their practices. But dissenting justices point to these words from candidate Trump.
For a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor writing, a reasonable observer would conclude that the proclamation was motivated by anti-Muslim animus.
We know its intention from day one. Right. We know the purpose of this discriminatory policy.
At a time of boiling emotion.
No ban, no wall.
And debate over the way non-Americans are granted entry into the country, President Trump given a stamp of approval by the highest court in the land.
And here at the court, all eyes are on Justice Kennedy, the court's key swing vote, waiting to see if he will step down at the end of this term, likely tomorrow. If so, that means another Supreme Court appointment for President Trump. Blaine Alexander, NBC News at the Supreme Court.
Business now down under. Australia is buying the first of 6 U.S. manufactured long-range drones that will cost more than $5 billion. The purchase will significantly increase the nation's military surveillance and recon capabilities from higher altitudes. Australia is part of the Five Eyes, an intelligence gathering network that includes the United States, Britain, Canada, and New Zealand. And speaking of drones, check out this footage captured from our 25 News drone today. A pleasant surprise for drivers in the Tazewell County and Peoria County areas. The Journal-Star reporting first that all signs indicate the McNaughton Bridge is open after closing June 18th for road work. Next on 25 News, a well-known actor claiming he was sexually assaulted.